And although by the merit of Christ, in the resurrection the defect of nature is removed from all in common, both the good and the bad, there will still remain a difference between the good and the bad, as far as what personally suits both. Now it is a matter of nature that the human soul is the form of the body, vivifying it and preserving it in being. But from personal acts the soul deserves to be elevated to the glory of the divine vision, or to be excluded from the order of this glory because of guilt. Therefore, the body is arranged in common with all according to the condescension of the soul. That is to say, that the incorruptible form may be given to the incorruptible body, notwithstanding the composition of the opposites, because the matter of the human body is completely subject to the divine power of the human soul as far as this is concerned. But from the clarity and power of the soul raised to the divine vision, the body united to itself achieves something more. Just as therefore the soul enjoying the divine vision will be filled with a certain spiritual brightness, so by a certain overflow from the soul into the body itself will be clothed with its own brightness of glory. Whence the apostle says, 1 Corinthians 15:43, the body is sown in ignominy, it will rise in glory, because our body is now opaque, but then it will be clear, according to Matthew 13:43. The righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Even the soul which enjoys the divine vision, united to its ultimate end, will experience in all things the fulfillment of its desire. And since the body is moved by the desire of the soul, the consequence will be that the body obeys the spirit at its beck and call. Hence the bodies of the resurrected blessed will be agile. And this is what the apostle says there. It is sown in weakness, it rises in strength, for we experience weakness in the body, because it is found to be weak enough to satisfy the desire of the soul in the movements and actions which the soul commands, which weakness will then be completely removed, with strength overflowing into the body from the soul united to God. Because of this also Wisdom 3:7 it is said of the righteous that they fly like sparks in a reed. Not that the movement is in them because of necessity, since those who have God need nothing, but for the demonstration of virtue. And just as the soul enjoying God will have its desire fulfilled as far as the attainment of all good is concerned, so also its desire will be fulfilled as far as the removal of all evil is concerned, because no evil has a place with the highest good. And therefore the body perfected by the soul in proportion to the soul will be immune from all evil, both as regards act and as regards power. As for the act, because in them there will be no corruption, no deformity, no defect. As for the power, because they will not be able to suffer anything that is troublesome to them, and because of this they will be impassive. However, this impassiveness does not exclude from them the passion which is of the nature of the senses. For they use the senses for pleasure, according to those things which do not contradict the state of incorruption. Therefore, to show this impassiveness of theirs, the apostle says, it is sown in corruption, it rises in incorruption. Again, the soul enjoying God will adhere to himself most perfectly, and will partake of his goodness in the highest, according to its own manner. So, therefore, the body too will be completely subject to the soul, and will partake of its properties as far as possible, in the transparency of the senses, in the regulation of the bodily appetite, and in the all-round perfection of nature. For a thing is more perfect in nature, insofar as its matter is more perfectly submitted to form. And for this reason the apostle says, the animal body is sown, the spiritual body rises. Indeed, the body of the resurrected will be spiritual, not because it is spirit, as some have misunderstood, whether by spirit is meant spiritual substance, or air, or wind, but because it will be completely subject to spirit. Just as now the body is called an animal, not because it is a soul, but because it is subject to animal passions and needs sustenance. It is clear, therefore, from the aforesaid, that just as the soul of man will be raised to the glory of the heavenly spirits, so that he may see God through his essence, as was shown in the third, thus his body will be sublimated to the properties of the heavenly bodies, inasmuch as it will be clear, impassible, mobile, without difficulty and labor, and most perfectly perfect in its form. And for this reason the apostle says that the bodies of the resurrected are heavenly, not as regards nature, but as regards glory. Wherefore when he had said that there are heavenly bodies, and there are earthly bodies, he adds that the glory of heavenly things is one, that of earthly things is another. But just as the glory into which the human soul is lifted up exceeds the natural power of the heavenly spirits, as was shown in the third, so the glory of the risen bodies exceeds the natural perfection of the heavenly bodies, so that there is a greater brightness, a firmer impassibility, an easier agility, and a more perfect dignity of nature.